How's it going, Vibe Tribe? My name is Parker, back with another reaction video. Today we got the first Opium War by History Matters. Thank you to Mr. Kirk for recommending this. Thank you very much. None other than Kirk himself. Beautiful. You love to see it. Alright, this is a bit of a shorter video, so I'm gonna, if I see stuff that I want to comment on, I'm not gonna feel bad about pausing it, just to kind of let it even out, give it a little bit of extra length to the video. I saw that there was a second part to this, so if you want to see the second part, let me know. I might get that out later today. And yeah, let's just kind of hop into this. It wasn't necessarily a second part. It said that there was a second Opium War, so kind of a second part, but it's, I guess, a different topic as a whole. Anyway, let's hop into it.
Wasted at 9 a.m. in the morning, drunk when the sun comes up, now I'm lonely.
Alright, let's check it out. I'm really excited. I haven't really seen anything from History Matters yet, so I'm excited to see the new style. Every channel brings a new outlook on history, so I'm excited to see that. And this is, I actually asked about this in a different video that I made on Al Murray. He was talking about the Opium War, so, and I keep hearing about the Opium War from different sources, but I've never learned about it specifically for whatever reason. So let's check that out. I'm gonna have extra British help in the comment section if you're coming here from wherever. Most of my fans are from the UK because I've been doing a lot of UK reactions, so they'll help me with any context here. I appreciate that. Alright, let's check this out.
1839, and some chap has just ordered the destruction of some opium. Lin Seshu was the name of this man, a Chinese official who'd confiscated the opium from a man called Charles Eliot. The British had been making a lot of money selling it to the Chinese because opium is incredibly addictive.
Yep.
The Chinese government had banned its import and sale because it was ruining the country, but that didn't stop the British because money. Seshu had hoped that this open display of defiance would deter the British from continuing to sell opium to China. He was wrong. As a result, Eliot, who oversaw all British trade with China, ordered the withdrawal of all British men and ships from Canton and out of the country.
So, is this going to be like a full-out war? See, it's weird because it's a war about forcing one side to buy drugs. It's just such a strange complex, such a strange dynamic.
The British were furious that the Chinese thought that they were allowed to tell them what to do in China, and so they mobilised the Royal Navy for war. Seshu wasn't concerned about war since he felt that the British would only win at sea, but on land the Chinese were safe. The British fleet arrived at the island of Zhoushan here in 1840 and demanded that it surrender. The inhabitants said no and dug in for a long siege.
Unfortunately, even if you don't have to really worry about them on land, I'm not sure how true that was, that what his claim was that they're safe on land. I'm not sure how true that is, because even if you are safe on land, I imagine a lot of money and a lot of importance comes from coastal cities for trading and this and that and the other. Trading is really important, and that mainly was going through the Navy at this point, which would be coastal cities. So if they shut down your coastal cities, then wouldn't you kind of just wouldn't your market get hit and cut in half? That's what I would guess.
On July the 5th at 2:30, the Royal Navy began its bombardment, and by 2:39 the bombardment was over and the island's defences were completely destroyed. The British then took the island with no further.
So that 9-minute bombardment, do you know how many ships were in that fleet that participated in bombarding? Because there's gotta be a lot of boats if it's only gonna take 9 minutes to completely destroy defenses, right? So if you know how many ships were in that fleet, just let me know in the comments.
The First Opium War had begun in earnest. The Chinese, led by the Daoguang Emperor of the Qing dynasty, didn't take the war or the British very seriously at first. A part of this came from the entrenched Chinese belief that all foreigners were barbarians who were destined to live under the rule of the emperor. This is demonstrated by the fact that during the war they referred to the British not as foreigners but as rebels. The British, under the leadership of Foreign Secretary Lord Palmerston, expected the war to be a difficult one. It was about two things. The first was obviously the right to continue selling opium to the Chinese. The second was to end the idea of Chinese superiority superiority and to be seen by the imperial court as equals in all things. Anywho, while sailing up the Chinese coast, the Royal Navy had attempted to deliver a letter of their peace terms to the Emperor. The Emperor largely ignored these demands and instead decided that Britain would be happy if Lin Seshu was removed. He had him replaced with a man called Qi Shan, who met Elliot in late 1840 to discuss terms. Qi Shan promised that a peaceful solution could be found and told the Brits to simply wait until the Emperor deigned to reply to them. Months passed and the British were unhappy to wait anymore, and so in early 1841, back to fighting. The British were victorious at the Battle of Chunpi, and Qi Shan and Elliot met to discuss terms in late January. Elliot demanded Hong Kong, the reopening of the opium trade in Canton, a bunch of cash, and for the British to be recognised as equals. The Emperor said no and had Qi Shan arrested and replaced him with two men, the Emperor's cousin Yi Shan and a general called Yang Fang. Their task was simple: crush the British entirely. The intensity of fighting picked up soon after this, and by March the British were sitting outside of Canton. Yang Fang agreed to allow the British to trade there again in return for the soldiers leaving, which they did. The Emperor was furious and removed Yang Fang and demanded that Yi Shan now destroy the British, because that's how that worked. Canton was reinforced while the British took defensive positions around.
Man, I feel like that the Chinese command here is kind of all over the place. I wonder how confused the British were trying to like negotiate with this. Like, you're just hearing four different mixed signals every time you try to ask one question, and you're like, where do we stand? Where do they stand? I'm just gonna keep fighting. Like,
Yi Shan attacked the British on the 21st of May. He was repelled, and about a week later the city was captured by the British and looted. During this battle, the Qing forces outnumbered the British about 50,000 to 6,000. So why did the British win? The two main reasons were technology and training. Whilst China had been the birthplace of gunpowder, most Qing soldiers were equipped with spears or bows, and those that had guns had matchlock muskets. Whereas the British had much newer weaponry, and their soldiers were also very well trained and were often veterans of other conflicts, unlike the Qing, who were mostly peasant conscripts who sometimes fought bandits. This discrepancy was much larger at sea, where British warships were of much better quality than the Chinese ships called junks that they faced. The British had also brought with them a brand new warship, the HMS Nemesis, which was an iron-hulled, steam-powered warship which outclassed anything the Qing could throw at them.
I really like learning about Navy stuff. Hey, let me know, based off this video, because I know British have always had a great Navy. That's been their thing for a long time, so let me know. I wanna watch a Navy video. Find me a good Navy video, but I wanna see like a specific battle, like a battle laid out Navy video. It doesn't matter who's fighting necessarily. Like, if you can find a British one, cool. But my main filter for the next reaction I want to do, I want to see like a naval combat Navy battle, super in depth, like breaking down how big the ships are, how many people are on them, how many guns, how long the fight took. Like, that's my bread and butter. I want to see a Navy fight next. So if you can find that, request it, and I will definitely check it out soon.
Pattern of a much larger Qing force being defeated by a small yet technologically superior British force continued throughout the rest of the war. Over the next year, the British captured many coastal cities and forts. In mid-1842, the British captured Xinjiang, which meant that they could blockade the Yangtze River and China's Grand Canal, which meant that food couldn't be shipped across the empire. The Emperor thus decided to sue for peace with Britain, and they both signed the Treaty of Nanking. The terms were that trade would now go through these cities as well as Canton, and that this trade would include opium. That China would pay Britain what is technically known as a boatload of money, and that Hong Kong would be ceded to Britain as well. In return, the Chinese got sweet nothing, and this treaty is referred to as the First Unequal Treaty. For China, the Treaty of Nanking marks the beginning of a period known as the Century of Humiliation, in which China would suffer internal rebellions and degrading foreign interventions, one of which was the Second Opium War, but that's for another video.
Oh, yeah.
Episode, and thank you for
watching. So that's what I was talking about at the beginning. I saw that when I was looking for this one. So yeah, I can definitely check this out if you guys are interested in me going further into that topic. But I also want to watch something about Navy. I don't know why, but just hearing about their new class of battleship that he mentioned there, that just sparked my interest. I really like learning about Navy, so let me know a cool Navy video. I just want to see like a battle, like a breakdown of the ships fighting, how strong they are, the tactics they used, the most in-depth Navy video you can find. I'll be watching it. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, I'll see y'all there. Peace out. Love y'all. Vibes never die.
All we got is a bag in the